Alright, welcome to the channel. We're going to cook up some Dutch oven carnitas for you today. This video excerpt was also part of our trip to Mackie Bar. We've just remixed these to focus on the recipe. So we're starting first with a few chunks of pork shoulder, and we're just dicing those down a little bit smaller chunk before we brown those off. A little more surface area equals more flavor. So we're just going to get those into slightly smaller chunks, and then we're going to add our what we call AP seasoning, all-purpose seasoning. It's a blend of pepper, salt, and garlic powder. You can use whatever seasoning you like, but we use this as a base seasoning to start off most of our meats. So we're just going to get that coated on all sides of the meat. Just kind of rotate those around, give it a good shake. And in the meantime, our Dutch oven has been heating over here on our 2-burner camp stove. We're just going to start this off on the camp stove so we can get these browned fairly quickly. We've coated the inside of that Dutch oven with a little bit of avocado oil, which we like to use for any kind of higher heat frying. So we're going to place these in here with a little bit of space between them so they do brown and don't start to get too much moisture in the pan yet. So we'll fit in as many as we can and start the browning process. Alright, we're prepping for the next step here. We've got a few mandarin oranges. You could use any orange you like, but we happen to have mandarins around and they're nice and juicy and easy to squeeze, so we've got those halved and ready to go in. We're just finishing up the last of the browning here. On for a few minutes now. Rotated that around to all sides just to get a nice little brown outside. They're definitely not done. Alright, now we're going to begin the braising process. So we're just going to start with a little bit of water and then add in some powdered chicken bouillon to give that water a little bit of flavor. And we've got our spice mix off to the side. We mixed that ahead of time, and that consists of oregano, cinnamon stick, dried red pepper flakes, some cumin, some ground cloves, and some ground coriander. Somewhere around a teaspoon each for most of those spices, except for the clove. We went about a half teaspoon on that. Then we just squeeze in those mandarin oranges, trying to get as much flavor out of those as possible, so getting as much of the fruit in there as we can. The carnitas should have kind of a citrusy flavor to them, so adding those in. And finally, we're going to come in with a little bit of Coca-Cola. Just add a little bit more complexity to the flavors. This is a 20-liter bottle, but I think we just did about a third of that, just to get a little bit of that cola flavor in, and add in just a little bit more water. Give that a good stir around so all those spices mix in. Want the meat fairly well covered. This is going to cook for a while, and we're going to cover that up, and we'll get our charcoal going. Charcoal adds a nice even heat to the Dutch oven and has it cook more like an oven, and that's what we want to do is these things braise. So we pour out, well, first we have a tumbleweed fire starter. That's just a wax coated fire starter there, and we're going for about 16 coals with a 10-inch Dutch oven. If you get about 10 on top and 6 on the bottom, it keeps it at a pretty good temperature for a slow simmer or a braise. So we'll just get those going, and we're going to be transferring the Dutch oven over to the coals once they get hot. Alright, giving these a look before we put them on the charcoal, giving them a good flip so they're kind of getting all the flavor from the braising liquid into the meat. It's looking good so far. We'll transfer that over and get it on the coals. So with most Dutch oven cooking, I like to have about 2/3 of the heat on the top and 1/3 on the bottom. Depending on what you're cooking, you obviously adjust your coals. So if it's something that's super sensitive to heat, like biscuits or bread or something like that, you should be a little bit more careful with how many coals you add. Alright, we've got those divided up, and time to just enjoy the scenery for a while while this braises down. Just about the life of the charcoal is about what we need to get this meat nice and tender, maybe an hour, hour and a half. Alright, I should have added this in earlier, but I forgot. So this is a mixture of onion and garlic, just finely diced, that we add in. And we're probably about 45 minutes into cooking at this point. So still plenty of time for those onion and garlic to break down. Did look like we needed to add a little bit more moisture in there as well. A lot of that initial moisture had cooked off, so just adding a little bit of water. We don't want these really soupy in the end, so better to add a little bit at a time than too much. Alright, lid goes back on. And through the magic of time, Carnitas are looking nice and tender and done. We throw some homemade tortillas on the grill to warm them up. Made these ahead of time at home. They're 50% masa, 50% flour, sourdough tortillas. And time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Carnitas going on the tortilla. We got half an avocado for each plate, as well as some hot sauce. That's really all you need. You can add on whatever you like, but that's the basic pork carnita recipe in the Dutch oven. Of course, you could do this at home, but everything tastes a lot better out on the trail. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do make this, let us know down in the comments below. Hope you enjoy. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.